Joining us here in Lena's Lounge and on 12 Sports Locker Room, we have ASU offensive lineman Ben Coleman. What a start to the season, 3-0, making a statement on the road. I mean, how does it feel to be in this locker room and to be a Sun Devil right now?
I think it's wonderful. Anytime you can go 3-0 and start the season on a good note, I think it's rare, and I think it's a special group. We believe it's a special group, and we believe that we put in the work, to get to this point. So I think 3-0 is a good start, and we're looking forward to much more success.
Absolutely, especially with the expectations outside of this locker room maybe being low. How gratifying is it to see the work that you guys have put in come to fruition in this way?
I think football is special. You go through all these months where you're training and you don't see any results. So to be able to see some results, I think it's fun, especially a group with a lot of transfers that, the guys that face a lot of adversity, coming from different universities. So being able to build this program from the first year to now the second year, just to see the difference in the guys that are playing and the culture that he's been able to establish, to see that kind of come to fruition, I think is really important for us.
Right, so you were part of this change now with Kenny Dillingham. How have you seen him change and grow as a coach to find that success on the field?
I think he's learning just like us. It's a new position, and we're super happy to have him as a head coach, especially being a younger guy. I know there's some younger head coaches now, but I think it's fun. I think it's guys are excited that we have a young head coach that kind of understands us, and a guy that went to ASU. It's a guy that wants to be here, a guy that wants to stay here. So I think it's important for guys and recruits to know that this is a head coach that wants to be here at Arizona State.
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about activating the Valley, back-to-back games with 10,000 students or more. How much are you looking forward to taking on Kansas in the next home game? You have the Big 12 opener coming up at Texas Tech, but to come back home, potentially 4-0, what do you feel that environment's going to be like?
I think it's going to be rocking. 4-0 is the goal, and I think for students it's very important. They feel it. Wyoming, when we got that pick six, I think from Wyoming it was really hard to come back from that. They felt it. Mississippi State, they felt the early thing where, man, we're behind, we got to catch up. So I think the fans do make a huge difference, so we're excited.
We talked to a lot of O-linemen. Maybe they don't get the love that some of the skill and position players do, but you guys have some vibrant personalities. Tell me about your room and what makes an O-lineman have that kind of that riz, as the kids say.
I think, when you have one guy, we have our right tackle, Max, that's, originally from Nigeria and he's LA, so you have that combination. And our right guard being from Nevada, but he's been around, right? He's been from the Bay Area. And then you have Leaf, who's from the island, he's from Hawaii. And then, you have me, that was born in Florida, but then raised in Southern California. And then our left tackle being from Dallas. So I think it's important that when you mix all those personalities together, there's all these different backgrounds. So, we enjoy it, we have a lot of fun, and I think a lot of times offensive linemen are all serious all the time,
sure.
But I think we like to be the vibrant guys to be able to, control the mood at all times.
Yeah, and Cam Scattaboo, after his record-setting performance against Mississippi State, he said that he came to you guys and said some words of encouragement to close it out. What's it like to work with not just Cam, but that room you have, that stable of running backs is really talented. DeCarlos Brooks, a local guy, Kyson Brown. I mean, what is it like to work with those guys behind you?
I think as an offensive line, we feel confident. Our job is our job. We feel confident, hey, if it happens, another guy makes a play, that's a guy behind us. There's multiple guys behind us that can make plays on you too as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important anytime that the running backs, we talk about it go viral, that means we're doing something good. So we like to get those guys as many yards as possible because that opens up other things as far as Sam goes.
Yeah, what is a successful game to you as an O-lineman for fans who don't know? How do you gauge what is working and what's success?
I think we want to dominate the run game. The pass game is one thing, but I think dominating the run game, imposing your will on another individual, especially another grown man at 300 pounds, I think it's really important. So, we take pride in that, and that's something we want to do. We've done a solid job, and we feel like we didn't play too well in the first 3 weeks, so we want to do a much better job to finish off the season.
Yeah, you mentioned your background a little bit, moving around the country, but you also have Arizona roots in a way. Your dad was drafted by the Cardinals, is that right?
Correct. My dad was drafted by the Cardinals. My mother went to ASU. All her siblings went to ASU, and I had 2 other cousins that went to ASU. So I'm the 8th family member to attend ASU. Was one of my top schools coming out. I chose to go to Cal first, but I always end up at this place. So I think everything worked out. But my dad and my mom met here in Arizona, so I think it's kind of funny. Me and my girlfriend being here in Arizona, and then them now living in Arizona as well. You're kind of seeing 20 years difference of kind of like the same thing. People say that I look like him, I talk like him, his demeanor.
You wear his number too, right?
Correct, 62, and that's something that's important to me. So it's kind of funny to kind of see it full circle because, we go on double dates with them all the time, and it's like a 20-year difference of the same people talking and interacting. So.
Oh, I love that. That is so special. And finally, we're talking about Activate the Valley. I know that NIL and just getting fans' eyes on this program is super important. Any shout-outs or anything you want Sun Devil Nation to know how they can support the program or you, Ben Coleman?
Well, of course. I mean, ASAP IVs is really important to us because it's hot out here when we play games.
Oh, yeah.
So being able to get an IV, that's a place that I'm an ambassador for, and, they've helped me a lot, especially with these first first 2 home games. And then Mac Daddy is my favorite place to eat on the off day. Offensive line, we can't eat too much. We can't do too much.
Right.
But when we do have an off day, I love to go to Mac Daddy Preston. He's a great owner. The best wings and the best mac and cheese in the Valley, in my opinion. And a lot of guys on my team agree.
Okay, so what's the order? What are you getting?
I think it just depends because there's a lot of different things. It can get really ugly on the order. It can be very simple, but I think simple just I love the raspberry hot. That's personally my favorite. It's an interesting flavor when it first comes, rolls off the tongue.
Sure.
But a raspberry hot and some fries, I think you can go classic. That's easy, but I think their mac and cheese is something that's really special because he makes it a different way.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Sun Devils are eating this season so far. 3-0 to start. Texas Tech coming up, the Big 12 opener, and Big Ben Coleman will be protecting Sam Levitt, making space for the running backs to shine. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you.